Hey guys, Chameleos here. Today I bring to you my best ticketed event so far. Grade 10.5 Max Chameleos weapon is done. Another Elder Dragon weapon added to the books, and another weekend of slaying the crud out of these poor creatures. And this video highlights my Spring 2025 hunt event. This event featured Chameleos and added crazy amount of luck this event. No, it was actually like, I thought I used up all my luck for Near Gigante, but I was wrong. And I was also able to get enough materials to max Chameleos weapon and grade 8 the Chameleos armor set I needed. So I did a lot of calculations. I'm like, alright, I'm about to slay a lot of these things. But it's totally possible to do it one weekend if you put enough dedication and heart. And hopefully you do have the area to do it or the experience as well. But before we even start the grind, I actually had a big problem. So my pre-start event didn't actually go as smoothly as originally planned. If you see right here, I literally couldn't even see my ticket screen. So I was like, wait a minute. So I would like go to the special tab and I was like, I'm supposed to see the ticket right here. Why can't I see it? So I thought this was originally because of what happens is that partnered Monster Hunter Now content creators with Niantic usually will get a free ticket. So they usually give this code or something like that. So I assumed that that was the issue with my account because I got the free ticket, etc. And they usually give a season pass too. I was just like, oh, yeah, there's a problem. But thankfully, Niantic support was able to help me out. Huge thanks to Monster Hunter Now Niantic for helping me out and for the free Spring Hunt 2025 ticket. They forwarded my request to the team that issues it, and they're probably like, oh wait, this guy works with Niantic. Here's your free ticket, as we usually give you. Okay, thanks, bye. So thank you so much for Thank you so much. I really appreciate Niantic support and the staff. They're really great to work with. I encourage you to try super hard or put some work in so that if you really want to be a content creator, you'll definitely and hopefully you will succeed. Just put the work in and find your groove, and you will too can get all these perks like this. So again, thank you to Monster Hunter Now Niantic. I really appreciate y'all. And now that the problem is done, here I reveal my build for the event. I was using a full Drift Smelt Near Gigante bow. I had 3 bursts and 2 Dragon Attack Drift Smelts, and this is the most consistent Drift Smelt build for the Near Gigante bow. If you looked at my previous video for comparing the dragon bows, this is actually the most consistent one. There are others above it, but those have like peak performance, etc., so they aren't really consistent. This one is. And this build gives Focus 5, Burst 5, and Dragon Attack 5 and more. Most notably, Part Breaker 2 thanks to the Near Gigante weapon at grade 8. This was amazing for breaking Chameleos parts, especially the horn and the tail. So if you're going to use this build, or if you have the Near Gigante bow, I saw plenty of Doom Shaft Near Gigante bow users, and it was absolutely amazing for this event. But yes, Azure Rathalos helmet, Pink Rathalos mail, Rathian Van braces, Devil Joe coil, Gyrototus Greaves at grade 8 with those Drift Smelts. This was my build for this event. And now finally, we have the event starting. Now that all the problems are out the way, y'all know what build I'm using. This is the early event strategy for any of these events. Dedicate what you are going to grind early on. As in dedication, what are you going to do? You have a lot of time, but mostly if you're going to go after these events, usually it's because of Chameleos or the boosted Dimensional Links, which actually had a ton of Wyvern Gym Shards that I got. But yeah, dedicate, find what you're going to do. For me, it was a Max Chameleos bow, enough materials for my bow armor set. Now here's the thing. Elder Dragon points containing Chameleos start appearing after 9 a.m. They're in the preliminary state, which means they're going, if you play Pokemon Go, that means the eggs are going to hatch. So we're going to have to wait till they pop. So because they won't start till later, use your wide view and plan a route before heading out to grind. You don't need to rush. As you see here, I'm looking everywhere where I know all my parts are. Parks/places. And I'm like, alright, all my Elder Dragon points. And I'm like, okay, this route, etc. And you'll see that there's like a triple or some other points over here where I'm like, okay, I can go this way, that way, but generally what you want to do, look everywhere. Your area that you mainly grind at, look at everything. When you look at everything, you should be able to find what your rhythm is, what route you're going to take, and what's the best thing to do early on when you start your event. And when your party gets started, here's Chameleos. You enter your first one, and here's my first impressions when I fought this thing. Now, I had some intel thanks to Asia starting before us and the Monster Hunter Now Navi stream. If you watched that stream, it's on the Japan channel. And if you saw some content out there, hunters were able to tell us and show us what Chameleos was like. And, of course, we all knew Venom was absolutely annoying. I got used to it later, but I got hit a lot after that because I got careless. I was like, I got lazy. I guess I was getting lethargic for driving so much. And I was like, and then, like, I would stop. And then when we pull over, I'm just like, I want to kill you again and again and again and again. And as usual, you have to adapt to aiming using bow because with the bow, you want to target the dome. And Chameleos moves its head a lot. I was like, I kept saying, you stupid lizard, a bazillion times because every time I would shoot my arrow, like I would aim at it correctly, but I'm like, how did I do that? And I'm like, oh, it's because I got so used to just like aiming. So it took a lot. It's going to take a lot of pain before you get used to it. And then you should be able to find your rhythm, etc. But honestly, Chameleos wasn't as hard as I thought. Kushala, Near Gigante, and Corinne were way harder, for sure. And I'm pretty sure most of you in the comments, let me know in the comments if you attest to that as well. And of course, no King of Charmander's post/video about event grinding wouldn't be complete without food. So I actually had a break time with Pokemon Go friends. I already had like this planned out. We had this way planned out. One of my friends was visiting. She moved to LA. She was one of our Pogo friends and she came back to hang out with us. So we're like, let's go have some barbecue. As you see, this looks absolutely amazing. So I actually didn't play the whole time for day one. I had plans for lunch. And then later that night, as you see this amazing food, we went to another city to have lunch and we went to this popular barbecue place where we bought one of everything. They just opened up there and they were like, okay, I need to get one of everything because I don't know when I'm coming back here. So that's like $200 worth of barbecue. The left picture is one of my friend's plates. She showed me right here. But as you see, absolutely amazing, super good, super delicious. And I got lucky, so I had some of the last cuts, like the butt cheeks. Yes, it's called the butt cheeks. And I was like, okay. And I gave it to my friends so they could share. And I had a ton of it to take home. It's called Fiskew Barbecue. It's in Alameda. And they just opened a location in San Francisco next to the Chase Center. Because my friend lives near there. So we went there. He's like, dude, we need to totally go here. And I was like, yes, we do. It was totally worth it. I still have leftovers in my fridge. So I have food for all of this week. And I'm absolutely stoked to have the rest of the leftovers. And it was amazing. But yeah, I love my friends. Love these dudes. We were hardcore raiders. They're my hardcore raiding group, and literally, I've known them for 7 years, so love these guys to death, and they're more, like, some of them are way more hardcore than me, so, like, when they heard what I was doing, they're like, we know how crazy you are, like, go, and I was like, yeah, I'm going, for sure, I'll make y'all proud. So after lunch, I grinded more, and I got my first double rarity 6 drop. I got spooned so hard this event. This is the first of, like, 4 double rarity 6 drops for me, meaning you got 2 of them. And 2 of them are actually from breaking the horn. So breaking those rarity 6 parts are super important. You're going to see in this hunt right here that we actually do it pretty late. I was doing my best to target it, but I was like missing the dome and like aiming at the neck. And I was like, this is actually pretty frustrating. So I think one of the more frustrating parts about Chameleos is phase 2 because as a bow user, if you're ranged in general, because of aiming for its face. Like you see right here, it's just super sporadic. I got really used to ulting though, and as you see right here, I'm able to aim at the dome even though it's invisible. Got really used to that part. Sometimes I would break it, sometimes I wouldn't, so I'm just like, oof. And I think it's because I missed so many shots. My teammates were trying their best here, but I'm like, it's okay. I got it. I got it. And I keep missing. And I look like a fool. But luckily, my melee friends right here, my crew, they're able to smash the horn. They smash the tail, and like, do I smash the horn? I don't remember. Okay, yeah, they smashed the horn because they're doing... I did some work, okay? I think they did most of the work. But shows you just how crucial it is. If you aren't going for the breakable part, please do so. It really does help. And especially for Chameleos' camouflage, because it actually reduces camouflage. And you never know. When you look at the results screen, that might actually be the only rarity 6 you get. Or if you're lucky like me, or if you're even super lucky, you get more than 1. Or you get more than... I've never gotten more than 2, so yeah. But still, super grateful for the 2. But yeah, break them horns, get them parts, double up, and get those 4s. And there it ends day 1. So the end of day 1, 38 Chameleos slain, all 8 stars. Yes, it was only 38. So I was like, I was kind of bummed out, but like, honestly, like, I'm glad I had that time with all my friends, etc. Spend time with your friends, spend time with your family, take care of yourselves, drink a ton of water. Be grateful for all things you have, and make sure y'all celebrate with your amazing friends, like especially the ones that I've known for such a long time. Considering I only played for a few hours this day, there's a pretty good way to end the night. So that meant tomorrow I was gonna grind ultra hard, super hard to make up for all the time lost. That meant tomorrow I knew I was gonna play like 12 plus hours. So I was like, all right, you know what? Sorry, church, I'm not going to church today. But yeah, I was like, I needed to make up for the time. So as you see right here, go into the screen for the proof, and bam, we have 38 Chameleos slain on this day. So actually 39, not 38, 39. So yeah, those are all 8 stars. So I'm going to just go purely after 8 stars until I get my rarity 6s. And then after that, I'm going to go after my rarity 5s. So grind time, crunch time, here we go. And here we have day 2. So I went to the gym, worked out, got a sweet triple 8-star to start off the day right here. And it was actually pretty nuts. I was getting super spooned on this day. So out of the 3 I slayed here, this triple spawn had 2 rarity 6 drops out of 3 of the points. This is when I knew that I was like, oh, it's gonna be a good day. So I was like super, you know the dopamine effect when you get that rare drop? That's what spooning means, by the way. Spooning means, if you're a gamer, you know that means rare drop. So then when you see the screen, you see the rarity 6, and you're like, oh my gosh, dopamine starts rubbing to your cortex or whatever the heck the correct place it goes. And then you start going like, oh my gosh, especially since I have that sweet animation where it does like that effect. And you're like, oh my gosh, I got a rarity 6. So I got one right here, and I'm going to get another one for the next 2 slays right here. But yeah, it was super amazing, super awesome. Yeah, I had to spend a few potions early on because I got careless, but heck, the rarity 6s were totally worth it. Moving on, remember we're talking about having a good day? Well, guess what? A day 2 double rarity 6 drop again. And this was crazy because this was the 4th double rarity 6 drop I got from this event and the 3rd from the day. So I got 1 on the first day, and on the 2nd day, I got 3 of them. So that was 6. You multiply that by 2 because you double up, that's 12. I don't know how I'm mathing right now. But this was so crazy that I actually managed to get all the rarity 6 drops I needed early on. It only took 98 8-star Chameleos before I got all the ones I needed for rarity 6. So if you do the math early on, you need 9 per rare grade 8, and you need 48 for the grade 10.5. So you put that together, you need 57 total. 48 for the weapons, and 9 for the 3 pieces of armor I was going to build. And so that came into fruition right here. And literally I was like, wow, I got done really early. I was just like kind of dumbfounded because I was like, I was not expecting to get that this early. But I saw reports of players not getting as lucky as I am, so I'm super grateful for getting this done. Maybe it was just creator luck or something like that, but I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy right now because like getting the rarity 6 grind done early means that all you have to worry about is rarity 5s, and that's definitely a lot more doable than getting all them rarity 6s. And 80 plus Chameleos later and some dang potions. Here we have the total results. 178 Chameleos slain, 16 hours played, 4 on day 1 and 12 on day 2. 100 plus miles driven, actually less. I should have tracked it, but I forgot to turn on my trackers. Like, oops, I forgot. Well, 33 potions were used, 14 first aid meds. So I actually only used 18, but I was super sloppy. A lot of those I could have been avoided. I think only 5 of them were like, okay, that's my fault. But like the rest was like, wow, I got really sloppy and lazy. And yeah. But that's 22 rarity 6 doubled and 50 plus rarity 5 doubled. So I actually should have, I'm going to do more on that key points later, but yeah. Them tails. Tails are actually I was never expecting for tails to be the bigger problem than rarity 6s for me this time around, but they were. And I got enough materials for 3 grade 8.2 Chameleos armor pieces and enough materials for grade 10.5 max Chameleos bow. So the armor and the weapons. I know some of you are like, wait, that's not enough tails. I actually figured that out and played and got more later, and I'm gonna highlight that point on the next slide coming up. And here's that slide. The lessons learned from Spring Hunt 2025. If you're going to get better, there's always room to improve. Always room to get better. You're going to be wrong sometimes, but you need to be wrong so that you can go ahead and fix them. And you don't make more mistakes later, but to learn from them and you improve. And this is what I learned. You double all rarity 5s. I didn't do this for the first like 70 plus 8 stars when I realized I would get enough rarity 6 materials early on. Because I was getting spooned so hard during this event. I was like, wow. You know, in a lot of the early ones, because I actually got like double rarity 5 tails, I'm like, I should have doubled those. And that's the lesson I learned. Double all your rarity 5s early on. It's better to have your rarity 5s. Actually, no, it's better to have rarity 6 early, but it's better to have more than expected. Because if you do get them early like I did, I'm like, oh, rarity 5s can be more of a pain if not because of rarity 6, just because of the amount you need. To 10.5 a weapon, you need 170 of them. So just take that into account. With that being said, go after 8-star first and get all your rarity 6 before going after 6 and 8-star Elder Dragons. Yes, I go after 6 stars. Go after 6 stars, but get your rarity 6s done first. Because those are the more important ones. And then go after your rarity 5s. Unless you don't have a great route like I do and you have to, like, you only have a few points, etc. Or It's a lot of effort, so just do everything in that case. With that being said, don't try to risk a low timer point unless, again, like, you have to do everything. You don't have many points. You can't go around to a place with a ton of points or migrate or know an area, etc. There are enough boosted Elo Dragon points where you don't have to worry. So if this one happens to cut off and you only got seconds, don't sweat it. Just move on to a next one. Find a better route. You'll save a ton more time and a lot less stress. And as I mentioned before, because I messed up on calculations, because math isn't my strong suit. Yes, I can calculate data and everything like that, but I hate basic math, and unfortunately, I do fall through the cracks, so make sure you calculate materials correctly. I made the mistake of upgrading to 8.2 armor pieces and forgot that means I need more rarity 5. So I only calculate for 8.1, not 8.2 for the 3 armor pieces I was going to build. Hopefully my grind helps you out with your future ticketed events. This is a lot of work, but having years of hardcore Pokemon Go rating experience paid off. And really knowing your area as well. I actually have gold gyms around all of the area I'm around. I used to be a hardcore gold gymmer. That's how I met that Pogo friend group I told you about, because we actually met up at the gyms and we were like, hey, you're Instinct! You're a king of Charmanders! You're like, do you want to, let's be friends so that we can get our gym gold, because we were all like hardcore gym golders, and now we're all retired from gold gymming and we just raid. So yeah. Are they raid? I play Monster Hunter now, and I'm retired from Pokemon Go raiding and PvP, so yeah. But yes, be confident in your abilities. Y'all can do it. If you really put into it, everyone's gonna doubt you. People that understand are gonna tell you you're doing something crazy, but yes, if you're doing this, you're crazy anyways. More kudos to you, but yes, it's doable out there. And I wanted to save a whole heck of a lot of time because I want to spend more time on other things like creating content, eventually playing Monster Hunter Wilds when I finally get to it, and yes, making more content. So please do me a huge favor. Like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. Hopefully you had a blast on your Spring Hunt 2025 ticketed event. And in the future ticket events, you have more luck than I did, or you have better luck than you did last time. Good luck on your grinds, and we'll see y'all on the next video.